How do you like it? Gross, right? So you can't have a life without germs. So get out of that fear thing of saying, oh, and then we make it very fashionable. I don't use cloth, I only use paper because you're sophisticated. You really are not creating needless amounts of trash and not taking responsibility for it. But can you throw the paper? Yes. And what will you notice when you throw the paper? It's not actually paper, it has some synthetic stuff. They have added synthetic stuff to everything because we don't want it to tear. We don't want it to become soggy. So there's a little plastic there. And there are microfibers into it which go into our water, which contaminate, the fish. There are all kind of problems. I won't get into that. But if you want to use paper, please go ahead and use it. Can you compost it? Yes, you can. When you're clearing up the compost, you will find that pieces of these have not still decomposed. They take much longer. Yeah, all right.
So every time I'm throwing this trash in, I'm opening and I'm throwing the trash in. When do I stop doing?
You have to stop when it cannot take anything more.
Okay, so
it'll keep coming down. 90% of it will come down in volume. I'm just going to come to that, okay? So layer, don't compress. Mix with browns. Keep it moist. You can add a little bit of water when you find that it's become very dry, right?
Okay.
It should be, as we say, wet sponge. When you touch it, it should feel moist. See, remember, moist, not wet. Remember the rule which I said. Now I'm saying so many rules, probably you're not forgetting. You must remember that there must be space for air. So you can't make it so wet that the air spaces are all clogged with water. How will you ensure that? You know the difference, right? As people who deal with stuff, moisture. Wrung out cloth, moist. A completely wrung out cloth is moist. It has moisture, but it has air space.
right.
A cloth that is dumped in water and removed, fully wet, there is no space for air, right? So you want to manage that. You want to manage moisture. You want to keep it, yeah. So why are you turning the compost pile? To build air. Where you're worried that all of this loses volume and compresses and goes down, maybe it becomes, anaerobic. So you can just now build air. People are making big exercises out of nothing. You can just take a little, fork and poke. That's enough. Air will go in. Poke some holes. Yeah? And get your kids to work.
How often should we do it? That breathing air, how often should we do it?
You can do it any time. If it smells good, it's fine. If you find that there's a bad smell, throw a handful of browns and give it one turn. That's it, because somewhere some anaerobic activity is happening.
Like
Smell test means no air. Smell means no air.
It's like every day?
No. I turn my compost where I feel like it.
Okay.
Yeah? Once a week is good.
Oh, okay.
Once a week is good, and there is anaerobic compost which you don't have to turn at all. I have a pile in the garden in which every little bit of plant that I prune, as gardeners you will know, you will never walk into the garden without the prune in hand. Yeah? So every little leaf that you prune, you will throw it into a pile. I don't turn it at all. It's lying in the corner of the garden in which all the things that I have cleared is been lying, and by spring it's all beautiful compost. I've not turned it. What have I ensured? I've ensured that I've not pressed it down. I've ensured that I have a fair combination of greens and browns. It's just lying there, right? I don't cover it because it's on the ground. If there's a very heavy rain, the next day I might add a little more browns and cover it with a tarpaulin or something like that so that it doesn't become a soggy mess. You get what I mean? So that's that. Yeah? So you can allow it to lie there without turning and still get compost. It will take time.
How can we get browns?
You turn 45 days. Don't turn 6 months.
How can we get browns non-fall season? I mean, fall season, now I'm getting...
There's one tree or the other that's shedding. You can collect it, keep it in little bins.
Okay.
You have those brown paper bags in which you can keep them. You can keep them in the patio. You can make them a pile at the bottom of your trees. Yeah? Always make sure that you're raking the brown before picking it up. You're wearing gloves. You're picking it up with forks. Because brown leaves are nice and cozy. Animals will like to build nests. Okay? And if you're going to touch the leaves you must know the cycles of life. If you're going to deal with leaves in spring, that's the time for snakes to lay eggs. So if you're very scared of snakes, and you have a pile of brown leaves and you go and rake it up in the month of April, you will pick up a snake and its eggs. Yeah? So be very careful with it in the months of now. Will snakes come now? No. They have laid eggs already. The babies have hatched and they have all gone out in search of mates. They are not anywhere near your leaf pile at this time. In the winter, they cannot survive the cold. They won't be there. Only in the months of April, May and June, you will be very careful about snakes because that is the time that they will be reproducing. All right.
Then a quick question. When you throw the branch or sprouts or tree or something and within 4-5 days it turns brown, it's brown at that point?
No, it's still green. It's brown only when. That's a chemical
Right.
change, right? It's brown because it has lost nitrogen. The nitrogen in the leaves the nitrogen will just evaporate into the air. So that's what has happened to it. Yeah? So the real brown is when it ages, like the fall leaves, right?
Right.
But you don't have to worry about it too much. Can we throw that? Yes. Can we throw sticks? Can we throw branches? Yes, throw all of it. But remember, it will take a lot of time. Even your curry leaf stick will not be composted the first time. That's why I brought this without sieving it. Different things are composed with different amounts of cellulose and lignin. So they will take much longer time, but they will all eventually decompose. A coconut shell will decompose in about 6 years' time, but it will decompose. You just have to sieve and put it right back. Yeah, sieve and take out the compost. What has not decomposed, put it right back. Yeah.
But you're talking about browns. You're talking about the brown leaves, right?
Yeah.
Can we use soil? Soil is a brown.
Yes, as long as you don't compost it. Soil is beautiful because soil has microorganisms as well. So while you're creating the compost bin by the people, and I was going to talk about it, effective microorganisms. You don't have to buy them. Take a handful of garden soil and sprinkle it. They have enough effective microorganisms to get the process started. Too much of soil? Compaction. No air.
Right.
Weight.
Yeah.
So don't overdo it. Yeah? But you can put soil. Yeah.
They put soil during, you can't use soil as ground.
Yeah, you can't use soil as browns. Soil is not brown.
Okay, soil is not brown.
So, soil is not, yeah.
It has micro.
All right.
And what about the wood chips?
Yeah, they will also be useful. They'll take, wood chips will take about 3 to 4 years to decompose.
That's
Right?
why leaves.
And whereas your food requires immediate sources of carbon. So if you put some cardboard, or you put some dry leaves, or you put some paper, this is immediately available carbon which your bacteria can use. Wood chip is little,
Heavy.
hard to.
Hard,
Yeah. So we, yeah.
So after 45 days, you start making another.
No, you keep adding to the same pile again and again and again until it is completely saturated. I remember going to people, I have no compost. I say, okay, I'll come and take a look at your bin. I open the bin. There's a little stuff right at the bottom. I'm saying, what's going on here? No, but that is ready already. What do I do now? What are you doing with the kitchen trash? No, I'm just throwing it away. Because I'm waiting for this to happen. So I have actually gone to people's homes and opened the compost bin and seen a little stuff at the right at the bottom. Keep adding. Keep adding stuff till it will not take any more. Start another bin. Wait for this to get done. See, that bin which I have has 2 compartments. Start another one. And this will get done. Use it.
Is digging a hole in the garden good idea for composting?
All the rodents will find a nice place to go and live and eat. And you have a risk of falling in when you try to harvest. Why do you want to make your work difficult? See, you build it on the ground, you just have to rake the compost. Imagine this, the compost is right inside a bin and you're standing at the edge and trying to dig it out. You want to dig a hole, you're welcome to do it, not required. Right on the surface of your garden, create a little bin, create a frame. I'll show you a frame as well. So that's like finished compost. Okay? So, and you can do it. But if you want to dig a pit, there are people who will put in kitchen waste and bury it. And say, oh, this is fantastic. Very good if you have just a handful. I know the amount of trash our kitchens here generate. How many pits will you dig? Yeah? Don't make it difficult on yourself. If you like to dig a pit, please do it. Good for your shoulders. Yeah? Alright. Now, volume determines activity. If you have a 4x4 pile, there's enough volume there that the mesothermic bacteria that do the work love it. There's temperature, when you put your hand into the compost bin, you will feel that warmth. Yeah.
So the same compost can be used for fruit plants, all kinds of plants?
Yeah, plants will love it. Yeah, they are not at all picky.
Okay, so no.
They just love it.
Nothing.
They know it is food. They have no questions to ask.
So nothing for separately for fruits, veggies, and
No,
flowers?
nothing at all. You can just use the compost. They recognize it as food. They love it as food. Just generate enough and return them to the garden. That is where they belong. Yeah, create soil and be happy. All right. Now, volume determines activity. So don't buy that firehouse buckets and keep filling that and hoping things will happen. Will it happen? Yes, after 6 months. You can poke some holes, in a little bucket, 5-gallon bucket. Line it with brown leaves, add your kitchen waste, keep adding brown leaves and keep it closed. Fantastic. Manage the browns well, it will go down, add some more. Add till it finishes, right? And then close it and keep it aside, because during the winter the composting activity comes down. The bacteria need temperatures above 55, and when temperatures fall, bacterial activity will also slow down. So you can fill these firehouse sub buckets and keep them. But they won't turn into compost at the speed you want. So sometime in March, what do you have to do? Open them all and put them into a nice big pile so that there is volume. In 15 days they will be done. Yeah, so you need to be able to create volume for activity to happen. Yeah? Some volume has to be there. Don't make your compost piles too small. Make them large enough to matter. Accelerators. People buy, there are EMs available. Go to Amazon, look for EM, effective microorganisms. They can be added to compost to introduce bacteria, add a handful of soil, add your dosa dough, leftovers. Somebody was asking me. Dosa dough is filled with bacteria, so just add it. Add old buttermilk. That will speed up the compost. Add manure if you can handle it. Horse and cow, rabbit is fine. Herbivorous animals only. Don't add cat and dog too. Yeah? The pathogens. Alright. And make sure that it is moist. And keep piling up. As I said, keep adding. Yeah. Then, yeah. Alright. Foul stench. Now you know the answers. What is foul stench?
No air.
No air. You haven't added enough browns. All your materials have become water because the bacteria has gone to action and they've all got piled up and there is no air to breathe. So foul stench is lack of air, add browns. I cannot manage moisture. There's too much of liquid that has got generated out of food. You haven't added enough browns. Flies, maggots, harrow. What happens? You have done a mistake. Nature is correcting it. So you haven't created the pile with the right balance of browns and greens. So maggots and flies and all other insects have come in to correct the mistakes that you made and ultimately make it. Will it ultimately become compost? Yes, because these insects will be eaten up by one another. Their food. But you open it and you see a lot of maggots. I've seen that. Oh my compost pile is looking absolutely icky. I said, how much browns did you add? I added a handful. 3 to 1, 2 to 1. Yeah, at least equal, 1 to 1. Yeah, so arrange the browns and you can compost. You don't arrange the browns, you can do nothing. Yeah, all right. Then nothing happens. Oh my God, my compost is remaining as it is. It is stark, bone dry. How will there be any activity? Right? There has to be moisture, there has to be air, and there has to be food. It is just the same. I said, when did you last add kitchen scrapes? Last month. I'm waiting. There's no food, right? The bacteria is all dying. Ensure there is food, ensure there is water, ensure there is air. These are the only 3 things I want you to take back. You will have compost. Yeah? And, okay. Any problem in your compost bin, you all know this at least. One big handful of browns, throw it in, it will all be fine. Maggots, brown leaves. Leche, brown leaves. Bad smell, brown leaves. Nothing happening, brown leaves. Yeah? Manage the moisture, make sure that you have solve for the browns. Yeah? Ganesh is suggesting that you buy cocoa pit. I know that all of you are lovely consumers, so you will buy more and more of cocoa pit blocks, ready-made browns. Yeah, I was teasing him about it.
That is brown?
Yes,
Cocoa pit is
yes. Except that you pay for it. Leaves are available free. Yeah? But you guys, that's why I said, I'm new to this place, as you know by now. Yeah? I'm about 3 years old here. So you guys like to go to the shop and store and buy stuff. So please buy the cocoa peat block. Moisten it, fluff it up. It's germ free. I remember we just came from a friend's garden, okay, in which we have ordered soil. The soil has no life organisms of any kind. There is not a single worm in it. When I asked them why is it, the consumers will not buy. Why are we paying money and buying lifeless earth? Because we are so scared of germs. oh my God, the cocoa peat is sterile and beautiful and I can touch it with my hands. It has no life of any kind. Yeah? But you can buy it, you can add it to your greens, but you can't stop life from happening because composting, life will take over. But if you like it, please use that solution. Yeah? Alright. So this is a classic composting setup. Okay? This is the pile in which things are added. You can see the amount of browns. Yeah? Always ensure that the top layer is a layer of brown leaves so that you are camouflaging the smells, you are camouflaging the food, and you are ensuring that it is dry and nice, right? So this is where you are adding. Then once this is finished, right? Once it is full, you can go to the next one. Or what can you do? Little work. You can take this and put it here. When you do that, what happens? You aerate it. Right? So once this is finished, you can transfer it here and allow it to complete. And once this is completely done, you can again take it and store it here. Can finished compost be stored? Yes. How long can it be stored? It can be stored forever as long as food, water, air. If these three things are there, it will be fine. If there is no food, it's fine. All the bacteria will die. Air, water, it will still survive. And the moment you bring it back to the soil and add, expose it to a new environment, it'll all come alive. Yeah? Alright. Brown soil readily problem, build air, check. Make sure your compost pile is not moist. Smell test. Good compost at all stages of its making will smell sweet. If you have a stink, you have too much moisture, there is no air atoms. Okay? Food. Now, how much can you add? How much can I add to my compost pile? Please add everything your kitchen generates. The bacteria can handle it. Or do I have too much? We are a juicing family. The bacteria will love it. Yeah, just please add everything. It's going to be fine. Yeah. And that's it. In order for you to successfully compost, you must have one batch of finished compost, which you should be able to hold in your hand and smell. Then you know what life is about and what a beautifully intelligent design this earth is and how we haven't still figured it out. Yeah? So go for it, get your first lot, and then you'll be converted for life. Do not generate trash. Yeah? Because the trash that we generate cannot be somebody else's problem. Yeah? So wake up and smell the dirt. Thank you very much. As I went along, I'm 5 minutes.
Yeah, just
Where can we get the contact?
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Okay, so thanks, Geeta.
Thank
Okay, I will leave. Any one of you wants to start compost, want help? I'm available to come and freely do this for you. You just have to. I'm also like the bacteria. You give me some food.
Yeah, this is
Yeah? Give me some food and water, and ensure that the workspace is outdoors. I'm happy to come and help. You want to convert your lawns to food gardens? I'm happy to come and help you there, right? All of this is voluntary, so you must treat me nicely, and the initiative is yours. I won't keep calling you and asking, when are we working on this, right? You have to chase me, so the chase starts with this. Find out my contacts. Right. I'm umar.shashikant@gmail.com. Okay? Shashikant as in Maharashtrian. Shashikant. There is no H at the end, and there are two H's in the middle. People are not able to reach me because they spell Shashikant in various ways. Sasi and Kant. No. Shashikant. umar.shashikant@gmail.com. Started the posting journey today. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure after listening to this, show of hands, quick show of hands, how many of us are going to start composting?
Sorry, my name is Uma, U-M-A.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Contact
Umar.shashikant@gmail.com or
contact everybody in the Green Cell. And all of us in the Green Cell volunteers have a badge. You can. Our email is up there. Take a picture. It's greencellatl@gmail.com. And knowing Uma, I mean, she's one who readily come and help you understand how to do it and make it happen. At this point, we're going to take a couple of minutes, 5-minute break, just so that we can stretch. Two things is we'd like you to walk around the tables here. We have a table set up with the composting equipment. We've used the 5-gallon bucket
I'm
that
keeping the
Uma was
compost.
not very happy with, but that's a quick, easy one for most of us to adopt. Okay? And then we'll have
Imagine the intense weight of 35 pounds.